corners of the podcast dungeon. You have come across another goddamn horror podcast with Graham Fay, Jonas Barnes, and Ryan Danley.
Welcome, everybody, to yet another goddamn horror podcast. I am Ryan Danley, coming to you from Portland, Oregon. I got an announcement to make.
Announcement time.
Yeah, announcement time. I am no longer a horror podcaster. Listen, I've quit horror podcasting to become a ska-themed comedian. We remember when we were talking about that.
You were going to be a magician.
I was going to be a magician. My hands are too small. I think my hands are too small to be a magician. I think they said that you can figure it out, but it's more work if your hands are small. And I don't know if you know this, but work sucks. And then I was going to just become an all assassin-based movie podcast.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
But now I am officially a splatter punk and extreme horror and horror book talker. I'm going to become a book influencer, and then when I make
books from now on,
and when I make that money, I'm the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like I'm just going to be like, oh yeah, I remember a time where I worked with those dudes barely read splatter punk books. and
I want to say that you're lying, but you're not. It sucks because I would love to read more, but my eyes, they're stupid sometimes.
It's your eyes. Blame the eyes. That's it. So be prepared, guys. You know, one of these days you guys are going to show up, and I'm going to be driving my Ferrari. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Could you imagine driving a Ferrari? Could you imagine driving a Ferrari? Like as a kid, everybody loved those cars. Now I think about like actually driving one, and I'd have to kick my own ass. You know what I mean? Like it would.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like cars to begin with, so you're asking the wrong guy.
Whoa, bro.
I can't even fit in a Ferrari. They would just.
I saw the coolest thing. Hold on. I want to talk about something real quick. I saw the news. Read the news. It might have just been a meme, but it was awesome. And then I looked it up. It's real, so it wasn't like fake. But there was a woman in Florida recently who, and I'm always trying to like figure out how to get away with it and stuff. But she murdered her elderly roommate, and then doused herself in Mountain Dew to get rid of the DNA evidence. And I found this out yesterday, and I have not stopped thinking about it.
Well, I think that it's funny that you would douse yourself in Mountain Dew in Florida because, like, I think like after I would murder somebody, I would want no attention. But the odor of Mountain Dew is like the pheromones in Florida. You know what I mean? Like everybody in Florida would be like. And no offense to our Florida listeners, but they know it. You know what I mean? They know that Mountain Dew is the smell of love in the Florida.
Well, then it might work.
Yeah.
No, I mean, for Florida, Mountain Dew is like Axe body spray. Like you're just going to be like, if you smell Mountain Dew, you're like, oh fuck, there's a Florida person.
Also, she did this in front of the police after she asked for the Diet Mountain Dew, and they gave it to her. And then she started pouring it all over herself and her hair while they tried to wrestle it away from her.
I bet they wrestled it away from her because both those cops were super bummed to see a waste of Mountain Dew.
100%. They were thirsty.
especially if she smelled like one of the like limited edition Mountain Dews, like the once a year like Halloween Mountain Dews. They'd be like, this chick has money. Like that's what it is.
The Beetlejuice one.
Okay, right. Real quick, so I haven't drinking any Mountain Dew since I was like in the 5th grade. Like I don't drink soda in general, and like I'm just not a soda drinker. And
I like ginger ale,
and specifically like occasionally like a ginger ale, like occasionally like I'll take like one sip of Coca-Cola and it's fine.
Liquid death soda.
Yeah, but I was in a store one day and out of nowhere I started craving Mountain Dew. It's been 30 years. right?
That's
you know
a
what I mean?
possession sweeping through.
My theory on it was that the last of the Mountain Dew chemical finally exited my body after 30 years, and then like my body had learned to survive off of it. Like there's like something deep inside. Like when you're like stranded on a boat and like people start eating fish eyes because the lizard brain knows that it has like the right minerals and shit. I think that's what was up with the Mountain Dew. So I got a Mountain Dew and I took a swig of it, and it tastes like antifreeze.
Worst.
Jonas, do you want to introduce our guest?
You're fucking right, I do. Yeah, absolutely. We have an amazing guest today, honestly, and she's just been sitting here in the corner, chilling, listening to us talk shit about Mountain Dew. She's an incredible director, film producer, the band member, fucking so many things. Melissa LaMartina, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks for having me, you guys. This is awesome.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Listen to us talk about our bullshit in the beginning. You're amazing. Thank you.
Fascinated by Mountain Dew in general.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a
aside
weird
from
one.
that story, bring it just Mountain Dew in general. I'm like, what is that? What is that about?
My wife has never tried it because her little brother told her, or older brother, I'm not sure which, but told her it was frog guts. And she has never even tried it and refuses to today. I'll try it again. I don't even drink it, but I'm like, you should try it.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has to try it once. It's like a rite of passage, right?
Yeah.
I've actually never had a Twinkie, so I actually concur.
That's wild to me.
And now I know, and people look at me like that dude eats Twinkies. Like if you like, you know what I mean. If you see me walking, you're like, that dude's on his way to get a Twinkie, and you know what I mean. And like that's the theory, probably the walking theory of it. But I've never had one, and now it's like Now it's a badge of honor. Like now I can't do it because it's like my thing. You know what I mean? It's like one of the only things that makes me cool at all. So you're cool. You have a lot of cool things. We're here to talk about one specific movie, but behind you is one of those Ghana posters, which are just some of the best posters in the world. Like all those, like they don't import what is it? The story? They don't import the posters to Ghana for some reason, so they make them there. Is that?
Yeah, they just hand paint them, and so people will just paint whatever they can think of that will like bring people into a movie theater. So you end up with like a Wayne's World poster where like Wayne is holding Garth's like severed head, just to entice,
like shooting lasers out of their eyes.
Right? Yeah. So this is a custom poster from Ghana. So my husband Chris LaMartina and I met making Call Girl of Cthulhu. So I'd been doing a bunch of theater. I'd been doing burlesque. I was doing like overlapping shows and I was getting burned out on live performance. And my friend who I was doing burlesque with was doing wardrobe costume design for Call Girl of Cthulhu. She said, you should audition for this. So I said, well, first I'm going to get their attention. So I went to this burlesque fundraiser they were having and I did my routine that I had created based on Lady Macbeth set to Chris Isaak's Baby Did a Bad Thing. So I finding blood on myself. I find a little blood on my wrist. It's like, of course, I got to take off the jacket. Oh, no, there's blood on my skirt. Got to take off the skirt, and so on and so forth, until I just had smears of blood on my body. So succeeded in getting the director's attention. Got cast in the title role in the movie, and now I've been married to Chris for 10 years. So
that's amazing.
Turned out pretty well.
Rad.
And I love that you went from Lady Macbeth, yelling a spot to Call Girl of Cthulhu.
There's a connection.
Yeah, there's worse connections. I was at a comedy festival in Eureka, California. Shout out to Chris Durant and the Savage Henry Comedy Club / festival that he does every year, and we were doing a show at a secondhand store that sold physical media records and Atari I don't know, like stuff, and they had a whole bunch of DVDs and Blu-rays, and Call of Cthulhu was there. Call Girl Cthulhu was there, and I bought it. So this is like a big moment for me. I
didn't even know.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't even know, and I love Call Girl of Cthulhu. It's a great movie. It's all movies, specifically like H.P. Lovecraft, because H.P. Lovecraft, let's be real, fantastic writer, terrible human. So when you put this spin on it, it makes it rad. You know what I mean? Like, it's like all of a sudden, like, we can enjoy it sort of guilt free with this radness, and it's a super good movie, and you do absolutely fantastic work in it. So,
thank you so much.
Yeah, so that's and you have the cool poster. So, like, that's
one of a kind.
Yeah, that's
so cool. And it also, the fact that, you know, we were talking about this beforehand, before we started recording, and Ryan realized he had bought your movie a few years ago, and I remember, I think when you got it, you were talking about it. You were like,
I recommended it on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I even made like a TikTok about me watching it. But like, because it's like, it's literally like,
well, and it just goes to show like, even though we did, because I had never heard of you personally before Jonas brought you to us, and now I've been listening to Beach Creeper for days, but anyway, we'll get to that. But it just goes to show that, like, even though I didn't know who you were, or we didn't know, like, you've been in the game long enough. You know, I always love learning about, like, these connections. Like, we've had people on, I've been like, oh my God, you directed that movie? Like, I love that movie.
I love that.
It's really cool when, like, somebody's coming out with something new, and we're like, oh, maybe, you know, they're just dipping their toes into horror or something. No, you've been submerged for a while, and that shit is rad. And so I just think that's cool.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been really fun. I mean, so that was, you know, my first foray really into any kind of filmmaking, and I was an actor on that. Did some help with wardrobe, because, you know, when you're doing a low budget movie, it's like most of the time you end up pitching in on a bunch of stuff, you know, if you're a
for sure.
And care about the project. So but it really turned me on to, like, producing first, you know, continue to act in films. And then now here we are with my directorial debut, which is super, super exciting. Yeah.
For Sale by Exorcist.
For Sale by Exorcist.
It's fucking hysterical.
It's hysterical. It's
so good.
It's super good. It's super funny. It's yeah, I mean, so for Sale by Exorcist, walk us through, like, that part of, like, how does, like, this whole thing come to be? Because it's like, I, as a comedian and a fan of horror movies, love horror comedies in general, and there's just something about watching a good horror comedy that's just so good, and so, like, but it's also, like, can be kind of hard to nail, you know what I mean? So
yeah, for sure. So, like, the whole genesis of the idea came from, like, a couple different places. So, like, one place, and so Chris co-wrote this movie with our buddy Rob Walker, who's, like, written for Hard Times. Like, he's super funny dude. So he
for the record, guys who write for the Hard Times are every single one of them is a jerk. And
well, I know there's I feel like there's, like, a connection here, right?
Ryan writes.
I write for the Hard Times, but
like, I know one of you does. I was looking you up, and I was like, okay, we got a little connection here.
Right.
Yeah, so they totally suck. They're awful.
They're awful. Don't trust a single one of them.
Terrible to work with. So yeah, but it all kind of goes back, like, even further. So Chris wrote the first draft of this script in 2017 because he was, like, specifically writing screenplays to try to sell them, because up until then, basically, this is the first movie that he's, like, written and not directed himself. So, like, I feel like that's a huge, like, badge of trust, you know, personally.
Absolutely.
But, like, it started off where, you know, like, real estate agent billboards, it's like, it's never, hey, here are the mid-century modern houses I specialize in, or, like, I sold this beautiful Victorian. It's always, like, a headshot. And it's like, why do I need to know what you look like for me to, like, have you sell me a house? Right. So it got us thinking about this idea of, like, a real estate agent as some sort of celebrity, you know, and what that might look like. And then when Chris and I went on our honeymoon 10 years ago, we went to New Orleans. And so when you see all those for sale signs in New Orleans, they've got those little placards at the bottom that, like, declare whether a house is haunted or not haunted, you know? So it starts making you think, like, what does someone's career and life look like if they're, like, specializing in just those haunted houses? So that was kind of where the genesis of Susan started coming from.
it's a great. I love these kinds of stories because I love how they're cooked out of like the reality of the world, and just how like and good comedy is like that good, like observational, like so really, do you like like this house is haunted, like do you have mostly haunted houses? Do you know, I like diving into that reality, you know what I mean, because like it's so that's great. And Susan is the main character, and she comes from a family that has the gift, right? Is that,
Yes.
without getting into spoiler territory? Well,
right.
You know what I mean. But it's pretty. So you got she does a really great job in the whole movie. It's a really well done, because it's a lot on her, and it's done mockumentary style, right? Is that the word we're using? Is that
yeah.
Kind of found footagey, and then you got like a little bit of a mockumentary feel going on.
And Emily Klassen, is that her name?
Yeah.
She's great.
She's phenomenal.
So good in it. Yeah.
So she and I had done a lot of theater together, and I pulled from the Baltimore theater community for a lot of my actors, because going for that mockumentary style, I wanted to be able to shoot scenes from start to finish, you know, to feel like we were really living in those scenes. And so I had to rely on my actors to come prepared, to be off book, to really be like living in their characters. And like, not to say that like film actors can't do that, because obviously many film actors are incredibly talented, can dip right in. But I, particularly it being my first feature, wanted to kind of work from a place that I was familiar with, which was, you know, theater. That was where I started my creative path. And Emily just, I knew people would fall in love with her instantly as Susan. And that was so important, because she does carry the movie, you know. I mean, there are very few scenes where we are not focused completely on Susan. And in the end, we actually ended up like rewriting the role for her, because Susan in the original script was older, kind of like more middle-aged, which we're playing with those themes of like thinking that you're doing one thing for your whole life and then being thrown for a loop of like, maybe you could question everything that you thought was true and good, and, you know, like pivot there. So when we sat down and started looking at the script again, once we got the green light for production, we started thinking about Emily, and, you know, she's from the South. She doesn't have the accent that Susan has, but it's adjacent. Like, she gave Susan a whole different accent. Like, she wasn't just like, I'll just do my Southern accent, call it a day. Like, she was like, no, I think Susan's from like this other town that's like kind of near where I'm from, but like it's gonna be a little different. I'm like, go on, girl. But that's where like all the little like Southern touches, like, you know, coming up with all these little like sayings, like most of which are just like completely made up, but like sound like they're Southern. Like that's where like that character, that extra layer started coming in once we were like, Emily's it, like this role is hers, you know?
I say like one thing I wanted to mention this, like her energy that she has on screen, the best word I could find for it is infectious. Because it's like it absolutely takes over the screen in the best way possible.
You're brought right in and you're following.
100%, yeah, and it's so cool. Like we had another person on the show before, Jamie Alvey, and she's from Kentucky, and she has, you know, that Southern thing going on. And like when she was in the movie Bystanders, like whenever she was on screen, that Southern accent comes out, and you're just like, oh shit. Like it's like it kind of draws you in. You're like, oh, what's gonna happen now? Because I think the Southern accent has this innate like inherent likability to it. But then when something goes crazy, like it goes.
There's an inherent evil to it too.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
like at the same time,
where's it gonna go?
Yeah, it's really wild to me. Because I love a Southern accent with good words coming out, you know, like pro-trans or like stuff like that.
Yes.
Anti-cop. It's gorgeous. Yes. But like anything else, fuck.
It's scary.
It's terrifying.
I want to point out too, I want to go back to the, you know, hiring theater people, and I know that the reason now that so many roles that are American central characters that are American are going to English people is because they still do theater.
Yeah.
So, like, and so many of our celebrities now have come up through commercials.
I was about to say.
Yeah, and those sorts of things.
Instagram, being in,
right,
whatever.
Exactly. There's so much. Trust us. We're stand-up comedians.
Ray J.
We watch very successful TikTok stand-up comedians become millionaires. Who their names might rhyme with rat mife, and we watch them become famous on that. And listen, I'm not yucking anybody's yum. Whatever. Like if you can be successful.
Listen, if I'm gonna shit on Matt Rife, and I'll say his whole fucking name, I don't care. If I'm gonna shit on Matt Rife, it's for the fact that he made 2 terrible horror movies. Okay, his comedy's whatever, but he made 2 shitty horror movies.
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
But because people become like, now it's people are like, oh, why are all these English actors like taking these American roles, and it's like, well, because like you didn't put in the work, you didn't get
nailing the accents.
right, because like I mean, like Idris Elba. I mean, nobody else could have played Stringer Bell. You know what I mean? And it's just like, so I get what you're saying. Like, I fully agree. There's just something about people. I try not to be a purist in this world, but there's something about being somebody who has to speak to the back of the room, who has to nail your lines immediately, has to emote to human beings in the space with you, and have to like sell character to like actual humans without enhancements and angles and things like that. That's always going to, I feel like theater is like when the I hate using sports metaphors, but I'm going to use one. It's like, maybe I don't hate it that much, but like when the baseball guy has like the heavy donut on before he goes up to bat, so his bat feels lighter. I feel like theater is the donutted bat. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I'm just going to go there and work real hard to like, to sell this crowd on something.
I'm going to live in this character from start to finish, no matter what happens.
Right.
This is making me think of, I was in a production of No Exit, like, I don't know, a dozen or more years ago. And I was playing Inez. And so No Exit, for those who are not familiar, is like these 3 characters are stuck in this room together. And it's basically hell. Like the whole gist of it is hell is other people, right? So we're like halfway through, and it's literally 3 characters on stage the entire time. And something struck me where I was like, I'm going to throw up on this stage. So I ran off the stage, ran into the bathroom just in time to be incredibly ill, not just throwing up, but suddenly things were happening from like, every exit. Just met you guys. Like now we're just telling this story.
Yeah, yeah, we're good with all this.
Well, we do.
I spent some time like with my body just like evacuating all of its contents, and then like sit there for a second, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll go see if they're still doing the play, and I'll get back on stage if they're still doing the play. And I did, and we finished the show, and like my 2 co-stars just kind of like vamped within the world for a while I was going and experiencing hell in the bathroom myself, and then I came back and we did the rest of the show. Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, though, it is a French play, so I kind of feel like if you were actually in France, they would have been like fucking brilliant. Oh, the anguish was so clear.
You could smell hell.
You could smell the hell of this room.
You need a breath mint. Comedy has similar things. Yeah, comedy has very similar things, because if you're about to go on stage for like a headliner set, like you got to make sure everything is taken care of before you do that, because if you get 10-15 minutes into a 45-minute set and something goes south, it's just like, oh fuck, what do I do? Like, so
I've always said
that comfortability is there.
Comedians are better actors than actors are comedians.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, that's yep.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go off on comedy, but yeah, it's kind of the same thing. You're in the moment, and you have the crowd there, and everything's being examined, and so you have to figure it out without being like, oh, I can't do. You know what I mean? You have to, and this is of course zero disrespect to film actors and things like that. They have their own set of deals, but there is something that will always be amazing about learning to roll with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that bringing that to a film set has got to be pretty amazing. You know what I mean? Like for like a director to go, okay. Yeah. And then you're going to finish the scene. You're not going to be like, oh, I just didn't feel really good about that one. No, you're going to keep going because you know that the show just has to go on. And like,
right. Yeah. And then we can follow you because, with it being a mockumentary style, I was fully committed to that bit, and so I wanted to be able to have the actors come into whatever space we were in. We shot it with 2 cameras so that we could have one camera that was always focusing on Susan and the other would be like following the action, picking up what was going on. And part of making it feel organic was relying on the fact that no matter where that camera was pointing, that actor was going to be on, that just because you're not on camera doesn't mean you're, you can take a break from reacting or anything. Right. But we could cut to you, like camera could move to you at any time and you're in it. So I think it paid off really well.
Yeah, it absolutely did.
And I just want to bring up two of my favorite characters was the goth couple.
Yes.
God, I love them so much.
Again, 2 more theater actors. Yes.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
You could tell with them too, and like that was the other thing too. You could tell that they were fucking in it, like for their part, like they were so in good. It. It's so good, so fun.
Yeah, and Tatiana's actually an incredible puppet maker and puppeteer as well. Like she's got this whole other side to her too. So she's like this actor, and then it's like she's like got like this house full of like fucking puppets that she like writes shows for. It's amazing. Yeah. I love her.
So I have this thing, and you are one of them too. And I was actually going to bring this up later, but since you're bringing it up now, I've heard it called art monster. People who are art monsters, people who are like, so far you've mentioned that you did burlesque, you did theater, then you did acting, now you're doing directing. You are also in a very, very good band.
Thank you.
So I think there's this, and like, I dabble on art monstery as in like I do comedy and I write and I'm trying to write a book and you know what I mean? Like all these, these things.
I think we're all a little monster.
Yeah. All a little art monster. Yeah. And it's like, and I don't know, maybe you can speak to this about how like really like the artistic mind is kind of a ADHD sort of mind. That just is like, I think it's really rad. When you like when you're like, oh, you're an art monster, like so many comics I know are also like great painters and great things like that. I mean, the first time I ever heard it was actually Anthony Jeselnik discussing oh god, what's his name? I love him. He's Hawkeye. He's oh god, what's his name?
Jeremy
Renner, because he's a musician too, and like you know what I mean, and things like that, you know what I mean. And so it's just like how do you feel about that? Is it healthy? Or is it just that we can never be satisfied?
I mean, I think it sometimes leads to overextending yourself, which is not always healthy. But I do think like all those things feed each other, and I think for me, it kind of originates from being in theater. When I went to college and was in the theater program, it was a small program and everybody learned everything, so I learned stage management, I learned how to hang lights and focus lights and all that. I learned how to build sets. And so I think everything kind of feeds your artistic perspective once you've looked at everything from all those different angles. And then there's also a side effect where you appreciate all of those people, because you will sometimes work with actors who like have only ever acted and they see that as like the center of the project, you know? And it's like, yeah, sure, you're the most visible person, but like everything else that is going on around you is like just as critical to the success and quality of this project. And so I think there's a huge difference there. But for me too, it's all about just like, what do I want to explore and like what's the right medium for it, you know? Or like just even, I feel like if I were only ever working in film, it would probably get really daunting after a while. But it's like nice to like on Monday nights, like go to band practice and like sing about Draculas for a while, you know?
So rad.
Yeah, it's like really fun.
Really?
I do a horror hosting program too, Shocktail Hour with Aurora Borealis.
Real quick. Aurora Borealis is the fucking greatest name.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's like it's what I wish my drag name was.
I mean, it's like, just go ahead, man, do it.
No, it's too good. I can't take it. But it's like fucking perfect.
Thank you. So, you know, it's like, it's all kind of about like, just like exploring different perspectives and different points of view. And I just think it's like, none of these things are like paying the bills, you know? So it's really just about like, what's like the richest, most fun life that I can have and what's going to like put me in the path of like fun people who are doing cool things and like, what can we do together, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't agree with that anymore, and I really love to hear that said like that. Like, there are days when like I kind of like I'll be like strolling through my Facebook, and like I have friends who are rappers and friends who are in metal bands and friends who are in punk bands and friends who are graffiti artists and friends who make movies and friends who write books and all this, and it's like this is what I've wanted my life, is to be surrounded by these, like, some people like this guy makes $1 billion a year, and like I don't want that at all. I want like, this guy is like, he throws up the most amazing murals in town, you know. I don't know, like, to me that's like the cool stuff. So I could not agree with you anymore. So
also, I want to mention this when it comes to the art monstery stuff too. It's like, I think if you have multiple different things that you're like doing artistically, it helps multiple parts of your life. So like sometimes if shit goes crazy in life, it'd be like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this to not only distract me from this, but also to kind of help deal with it. Like I've done that with comedy. Like I had somebody close to me die, and within like a week, I was already writing jokes about the situation, you know, and the jokes were entirely fucked up, but they were still like, by the end of it, I was just like, okay, that actually processes the grief thing. And I think that comes also with like, you know, visual art and also with music and all these other things. And like when Jordan reached out and had us, you know, bring you on, had us to get you on the show, when I started looking at everything and I saw Beach Creeper, I was just like, holy shit, like this is like, it's horror, but it's like, it's so fun. Like, and it's, you know, it's one of those things, because like, obviously for Sale by Exorcist is a horror comedy, but then when you go to the band is like, it's, what is the best way to put it? You've got like the Technicolor thing going on. You've got the actual monsters. You've got this whole energy to it that is just purely fun horror.
It's very Bikini Beach stuff, whatever, you know.
Yeah. Monstery surf rock.
It's so awesome. Good.
Like, such good stuff.
Surf punk, all about monsters and cryptids. And like that's really fun too, because it's like, I love like rolling around on a stage and like acting like an idiot, you know, and that's the best opportunity to do it, because it's like, it's a whole other like character that we're creating, you know, like, and it's just, it's so much fun. And then like also it's like Chris and I both are just like all about committing to a bit, you know. So like he's most well known probably for WNUF Halloween special, and like,
oh, okay,
yeah. And so that movie, it's like you put a VHS tape in your VCR and like recorded in 1986 like a TV program, you know, off local news, complete with commercials and everything. And it's like he's talked about when he made that, like that he kind of made a list of all the things he didn't like about found footage and was like, how can I make a found footage movie that like addresses all those things I don't like about it? You know, like one of the things of like, why doesn't the person ever like put down the camera? Like once shit hits the fan, like why are they still filming? You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then like it's like people get mad because like some of the commercials repeat and stuff. It's like, dude, that's like what happens.
That's how it happened. Yeah.
Right. So like we're all about committing to the bit. And so like each creeper, like we're working on a couple of like themed releases right now, like and just like thinking about like the packaging that goes around it and like what little things like can like support it, like that immersive experience. Like that's what like really drives me too, is like how can I immerse someone in like a different world or different experience even for this like temporary amount of time so that they're just like delighted by this like new space that they're living in.
7 inches.
You know, yeah, we're like working on a 7-inch, and then we're working on a cassette release too.
Nice, yes. I got a cassette player.
That is
I love old school releases.
By the way, that is a art monster.
100%.
Move. Like we're gonna do it on. There was I can't remember his name, but there was a movie maker for a while that was just releasing things on beta. So like you know, it's like you gotta.
That's wild.
It's like I released it on Laserdisc. It's like what? Like, the fuck did you do?
Well, like when we made the sequel to WNUF a few years ago, the Out There Halloween mega tape. And so in that, I play like a Jenny Jones, Ricky Lake style talk show host. It takes place in the 90s. So like half of it is that show. And then the other half is like that character ends up on kind of like an in search of kind of like paranormal-ish like kind of show. And when we released that, because we had done crowdfunding, and there are commercials in that as well. And like one of the commercials is for like a takeoff on Goosebumps called Nail Biters. We've got this band, like one of the guests on the talk show has a band. So like one of the things that we sent to people who had backed at a certain level, and they didn't know they were getting these. Like we hadn't been like, you'll get this stuff when you back. We were just like, let's surprise them. So we hired a friend of ours, speculative fiction author Jessica McHugh, to literally write 2 of these nail biter books. And we had covers designed for them, printed them, and like shipped people like 2 novels. We shipped them an EP created by this band that like the guy, you know, the lead singer of is in the first half of the movie. The whole conceit of that movie is like you bought it from Trader Tony's tape dungeon. So Chris wrote a whole catalog of like 250 like brief synopses of like movies that don't exist. So
that's fucking awesome.
Got this package that was just like, here, you're in this world now. You know?
Yeah, and it's like that. So and some of that is like great for the movie. The other part of it is that's fun, right? Isn't that
super fun?
Yeah.
So fun.
And you're like, why wouldn't we do that? It's so fun. It's like these things like don't exist from this world we made up.
Right.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
I kind of respected that even when if you remember when the Grindhouse movie came out and they were making fake trailers. The fake trailers were fucking awesome. And they ended up being full movies, like some of them did. But like that was kind of a cool thing to watch
2,
that.
Right?
Yeah, at least 2 of them. And that was kind of a cool thing to see that, because you see that and then it breaks up the whole thing where it's like you get these fake trailers of these crazy ass movies and you're like, fuck, now I want that. Like you can do that same thing with commercials, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's just like this drive to commit to the bit. And like that's something that I like brought also into For Sale by Exorcist, where I was like, if we're making a mockumentary, I want it to feel like you are watching a documentary. And that's like why the opening titles are the way they are. Like I was just at a film festival. I was at Nevermore Film Festival this weekend in North Carolina. And during one of my Q&As, someone was like, oh, so I saw in the opening credits that you did occult research for this movie. Like, what did you research? And I'm like, hell yeah, like you thought that was real. So like, are like written to like credit the creative team of the movie, but in such a way that doesn't give away right away that these are actors, that these are writers, you know? So like, costume design became ritual garment preservation. Our production designer, I called her our cursed object handler. So
Yes.
stuff that would like immediately you're like, no, this is real. You know?
Sure.
Super cool.
Which is fantastic. Like that's such a
yeah,
cool,
I fucking love that.
it's such a fun approach to it. And I think the only other movie that I've seen do anything like that successfully and to make it fun is kind of like Behind the Mask, the Rise of Leslie Vernon, where everything was like kind of like that little bit of like look behind the curtain, where it's kind of like everything is like what part of this is real, what part of this is the movie, which part of it is like the movie within the movie, like and it's, you know, it's very cool. The approach to it was awesome. And also like one of the things I loved about For Sale by Exorcist is like I smiled so many times, like, and it wasn't even not even necessarily a full-blown like gut laugh or anything like that. There was definitely those parts, but I had a consistent smile on my face watching the movie, which was, I don't even do that very much. Like, I'm not a smile.
No, he doesn't.
Like, I'm not, you know? In fact, I bitch about many things. But this one, it was, yeah, for sure. The whole time, I was just like, I felt happy at the end of the movie, which is fantastic.
That thrills me. I love that so much.
Well, it seems that there's a common theme through a lot of your projects. It seems most of your projects, music to movies, and burlesque even, that that it's fun. Like you're having fun. You're committed to the bit, which, you know, it's a joke, but it's funny and it's based in horror. They're mostly cryptids. I was actually surprised, like, because the first thing I researched about you was Beach Creeper, and then when I watched the movie, I was like, not a lot of cryptids. I love Beach. First of all, I fucking love that you did a Loveland frog bit. Like, that shit is so good. Because I just learned about Frogman last year with the movie, and it's become one of my favorite things. But do you at all ever lean towards like just brutally dark horror?
So it's funny because like I don't really in the stuff that I'm making, and so like it's like always tinged with like at least like dark comedy. So like another project that I'm on is a video game called Amanda the Adventurer, and so that's probably like there's some moments in that are probably like the darkest that I've gotten in like my horror comedy career. In theater, I was doing all kinds of serious shit. I played Iago in Othello one time, which was like amazing. So like that's dark as hell. But like Amanda the Adventurer like was fun in a different way because I was kind of like pushing like how dark can I get in the confines of this like this world where it's supposed to be like this children's television show, basically, is like the conceit of that. So like for the first installment of that, I wrote this episode that's called Everything Rots, and it's like this little girl like finding like a rotting fox in the woods, you know, and then she's like talking about like feeling herself rot and stuff like that. And while I was writing that, I was like, okay, like we're getting like a little like extra dark here, like for cool. All the goofy ass shit that I do otherwise.
Well, but not even in your projects. Like, do you like when you sit down to watch a movie? Are you gonna go like comedy, or are you gonna go like something brutal, or not even like violent, but like heavy? You know,
I'm kind of all over the place, honestly. So like I do love horror comedies, obviously, but I love darker horror too. Like I love Hereditary, like I love Martyrs, like Martyrs.
Oh yeah, see there you go.
But like when I finish,
Martyrs is you know, pretty hilarious. But like that part where they're like whipping her skin off, like I kind of just think, I mean, like that's good slapstick.
Like after I finished
literally
slapstick. I had to go and watch the bonus features so I could like watch her walking around like in her skin, smoking cigarettes, like talking about how she like when she had to pee, like there was like no place for her, you know. And I was just like, okay. It's cool. Like that's funny. You're walking around. You're okay.
Totally okay.
So
me,
yeah,
and
I
Ry-
enjoy that.
me and Ryan did a whole episode about talking about a Serbian film being the darkest comedy ever made. Like, we were just like, listen, you can make it funny.
I mean, Serbian film is so over the top ridiculous that it is actually hilarious. It's just Martyrs, less so.
I love Martyrs.
I love Martyrs. I think it's
Ooh.
one of the. I think it's one of the best movies. But it is very.
I tell
very-
people to watch
very
Martyrs if it wants to fuck their week up. Like they tell me like, I want a movie that's gonna fuck me up. I'm like, watch that one. You'll get back to me in a week and you're gonna be very unhappy. Like,
Yeah, like not even just your night, but like you're gonna be thinking about that.
Yeah.
Like later you're gonna be like putting dishes away and you're gonna be like,
yeah.
See, Martyrs, I fucking loved. It didn't bother. It was intense. But the one that got me, the one that I'm still mad about, is Speak No Evil,
Yep.
the original one.
yeah.
I can't. I'm so mad at that movie for making me feel the feelings that I felt.
Mhm. That one is like, it's still like when it comes to there. I think there's a difference between a dark movie and a bleak movie. Like you can have a dark movie sometimes, it's like a dark fucked up movie, but then you have movies like Martyrs or like Speak No Evil that have just this bleakness to them that's just like fuck. Like at the end of it, it's like that weight that
And
you
then
like.
kicks you when you're down.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
what I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
like.
The whole like thesis seems to be like there's no goodness.
Right.
100%. Yeah, it's all bad. It's all bad, guys. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's-
Sometimes I love those. Sometimes I love them, but
Crazy.
yeah, but there's a couple that I'm like, you know what? I'm mad now at you, movie, for
Yeah.
doing that to me.
specifically at you movie. There was I think also like when you look at movies like When Evil Lurks. That's another one that's just fucking bleak, but also
Gorgeous.
absolutely brilliant and gorgeous and all these other things. But yeah, you sit there and you watch it and then you're like, all right, I'm going to take a breather for like a couple days. Like this is it's a fucking movie right there that I just sat through. And then also like some of them, I think also with horror comedies too, you can go the dark route and you can also go the fun route like Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Like,
yeah.
hilarious, absolutely hilarious. But then you have like The Coffee Table, which people are calling a dark comedy, and it's just like, huh, like where's the funny part of that? Like,
I mean, it's pretty funny.
in general, in hindsight, it's hilarious. When you watch it the first time, you're like, there's jokes here.
Did you see it, Melissa?
Not no.
Oh,
You
shit,
should.
copy.
Check
It's
out-
wild.
Check out the
Okay.
coffee table. It's on
Okay.
Tubi, actually, I think.
Okay,
And
okay,
it's on Shutter now.
It's on Shutter, yeah.
great. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Shutter. I don't want to watch it with commercials. if I
You
don't
know what else? You know what else is really really dark is House Shark.
Pure darkness, Ryan.
So
Pure
I
darkness.
am a massive fan. You are in a movie called House Shark, and I am a massive fan of movies with sharks in it, specifically sharks where they're not supposed to be. I like
Anywhere but the water.
A house.
like in a house, like everybody knows Sharknado, but like in Sharknado's fine. It is what it is. It's like it's like the modern B movie fun time, and
It's pretty
Sharknado
fun.
2
What-
through 8 or 9
yeah,
or whatever.
what
it is.
does-
They're all pretty fun.
they're all
Yeah.
fun and like they're actually pretty gory and
Yeah.
like it is what it is and
Yeah.
kind of thing. But I kind of like what broke off of all of that and like
Ghost Shark.
Santa Jaws or Jaws Claws.
Santa Jaws is great. Yeah.
Santa Jaws is really good.
Bad CGI sharks.
There is no kidding. There's a cashier at the grocery store by my house that has a Santa Jaws tattoo.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, "That's a Santa Jaws tattoo." She's like, "You're like the only person who's ever known one of those." I also own Call Girl of Cthulhu. So House Shark had to be a lot of fun.
Oh my god, it was so much fun. It was like being at summer camp. Like I drove from Baltimore to Syracuse to go make that movie, and like we all stayed at Ron's house, and like we're like sleeping in bunk beds. Some people were like sleeping on the floor on couches, and it was literally just like being at camp. And like all those guys are so hilarious, and just like, and I was only there for a few days because I have a relatively minor role in that movie, but man, the time I was there, I was just like, again, it's like you're doing this because it's fun, you know?
Yeah.
And like an excuse to be like, let's all like fuck around for a few days, and make this ridiculous movie. But it's just like those hangouts, but everybody was still like really committed to it. Like Marcus, who did the special effects in it, like he's like so skilled and so is like doing all this stuff that like actually looks really cool and fun. But then we're all just like, okay, we're making this movie about a shark.
It's why indie movies are better. It's because everybody there is in it for the movie.
Yeah.
They're not there for a job. They're not there because, they're there because they care. They're not getting paid. They don't expect to be famous after this. And they fucking love it. And 99% of the time, it's better than anything Hollywood put together.
Yeah. There's like an earnestness that like shines.
Yeah.
Through.
Shines right the fuck through. And it's easy to see. Once you see it, once you can spot it, it's the easiest thing to see. And it makes movies better.
Yeah,
I think
more fun. It's like these are human beings like doing something that they care about, and that's really special.
This is I feel like we could talk to you for like 90 hours about all the things.
Like you will definitely be here back for round 2. Like this will 100% happen.
So much fun. You guys are such a treat to talk to. I love this.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you. We aim to be a good time. You know what I mean? So, and your favorite color is red, and why? No, I try to avoid that shit. I still think House Shark needed a little bit more attention at the Oscars, but let's. You think you can handle our kill list questions? Do you think that you can?
I can try.
Okay,
I think you're. I think
there's
you're gonna be all right. I think
there's no
okay.
right or wrong answers. That being said, there is a lot of judgment. You know what I mean?
There's probably no right or wrong, but there's probably like a cool answer. You know?
Right?
Sure.
Well, we're surprised all the time, to be honest, because our guests are usually much cooler than what we can think of. All right, number 1. I'm gonna go old school on this one. Freddy or Jason?
Freddy. Am I supposed to explain, or is this just like
you can if you want?
You can literally answer however you want.
I love it. I mean, you can't beat like that creativity, right? Of just like that, like whatever you fear is now the thing that is your end. I just like it's very enticing. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fun. Like Jason, like whatever. It's just like you're lumbering through the woods, man.
Yeah.
Or you're lumbering through space.
Or through space, you're lumbering.
Occasionally Manhattan, but
for like 10 minutes,
which is my favorite.
Yeah,
Friday. All right, what movie would you remake?
Oh man, what movie would I remake? Damn, that's a good question. Now, like, let's sit here in silence. I think. Man, I really don't know. What movie would I remake?
We can come back to it.
You're gonna have to like cut out a lot of dead space while I like sit here and think about it.
No. In post production, we'll just put in like a clock noise. It'll be fun.
And just cut every so often to me going, "What movie would I remake?
Yeah.
What movie would I?
Which one out of all of the movies in the world?"
We get some people that are very upset because they hate remakes. I personally am a giant remake apologist. Yeah. I love remakes. I think it's super cool to see somebody else's eyes through the same story. It's fun every time. It's not always better. It's not always worse.
Right.
So like, and there's a lot of like sci-fi is incredible for remakes with The Fly, The Thing, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Like sci-fi is ripe for remakes anytime, I think.
Yeah. I think about like The Blob. Like
The Blob, 100%.
One of the things I do as Aurora Borealis is I host Blob Fest in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, where they shot the original Blob.
Amazing.
So we do a whole stage show, recreate the run out of the theater. And it wasn't until the past couple years, I think in part because I bothered them so much, I was like, you guys got to start showing the remake as part of this weekend. But there were all these people who were like Blob purists, who were like, no, we don't want to show the remake. The remake is so much better.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Original Blob, it's cute. Like I know people who saw it when they were kids, like it scared them because like that was what movies were like then. But like, man, the remake is so good. Like
So good.
so good. I was thinking, what I might remake? I was thinking about it because I saw a trailer for it this weekend at the film festival because they were showing trailers for their like some of the film series they do. I think Whatever Happened to Baby Jane would be really fun to remake.
Oh.
But with like a couple of like, I would cast like really great drag queens in the two roles.
Yes.
Love it.
Like a drag, whatever. I mean, because it's practically drag already.
Sure.
Like,
For sure.
the original. But man, that would be fucking fun.
That's a great idea, actually.
Yeah,
That's
Great
Great
answer.
answer. and
idea.
great idea.
See, you win. You win
Yeah.
already.
See?
I love it. Wow.
All we had to do was bullshit for a little bit. We knew we were
Yeah.
pulling out of you. It's great. Yeah, it's fun.
All right.
I like how you go from like, oh, I don't know, to like this amazing and actually kind of
Yeah, phenomenal
through.
answer.
Phenomenal answer, like thought through, like flushed out idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Churn in the back for a little while,
Yeah.
Someone's an art monster.
For sure. All right. This one is our most passed on, but see if you can handle it. If you could erase one movie from existence, what would it be?
The remake of The Wicker Man.
Oh,
Oh,
Because I am a huge fan. I have Lord Summerisle tattooed.
my God, that's
Nice.
amazing.
An immense fan of the original Wicker Man.
Yeah.
To the point where like 7 years ago, I did a Wicker Man tribute night. I did a May Day event at an event space here in Baltimore. We had a maypole indoors. I had bands covering music from it. We had an art show. I built a big photo booth thing. I wove cardboard together to make a Wicker Man you could get in. And I want to erase the fucking remake because whenever people ask me like about my favorite movies and I mention The Wicker Man, they're like, "Oh, the Nicolas Cage movie," and I never want to hear someone ever say that again. So I would erase that.
That's a great reason because, no one's going to say that if it didn't exist.
Right.
I
If it
love
doesn't
that.
exist, then they're going to be like, "Oh, tell me more."
Right.
yeah. It's a great
I've always said, as per the Wicker Man, that I would actually go to Burning Man every year if they burnt a cop alive.
It's the best Burning Man.
Like I don't think what's going on there is that bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm like, am I supposed to be on their side of the
Right. Like I get it. Like
music.
like if like I'm not saying that burning a cop alive makes your crops grow better, but
But
I'm
it's a
willing
good
to give it a
time.
shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm willing to roll the dice.
Worth
with
a
couple
try.
cops, you know?
Yeah. All right. So, as such a giant fan of Wicker Man, though, what are your feelings on Midsommar?
I love it. I thought it was great.
Yeah. Same.
So
It's one of my favorites.
We have
Yeah.
a theory on this show that they're actually not alike. And
They're not.
And then for some reason, a lot of people really like got the talking points that they're similar movies, but I don't think they're actually similar movies at all. Like I think that
Yeah.
okay, like white cults, but I don't even know if the island was a cult. Like, hey, like white
Just
people are
super into their crops.
well, no, but they just
Super
lived there.
into 'em.
Yeah,
And they had bummer crops, so they started doing that shit. You know what I mean? But like, what's going on in Midsommar is like some straight up like
Death cult.
that's cult shit,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like, and it's like, and I get it. It's like white Europeans are creepy. I mean, duh. But like, but like when they're gathered together, we know it's not
creepier.
Bad news.
Trust us, we're a nation of it. And I mean, like, and so like it's like I don't know. Like I feel like I feel like they're not the same. I love the Wicker Man. I love that you have a Wicker Man tattoo. And when we're a big proponent of I don't think they're the same movie.
I'm just if someone says like, oh, because I heard this. I liked it when it was called The Wicker Man. I'd be like, no, but you didn't see it then.
Or you were sleeping during it. Like you
People
didn't
love
watch the
jumping on
movie.
that kind of shit. Was it last year that we had a leap year because I like took that clip of the guy jumping off the cliff in Midsommar, and I put "Happy Leap Day."
Beautiful.
Oh, that's
I love that.
Fuck, we love you.
Yeah.
you are my new best friend.
Yeah. You're my hero.
We've talked about this before. Like, if that's part of a party is throwing old white people off the cliff, then fuck it, we're in. Like,
The dinner looked amazing.
Right, like I'm just saying, like
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be mad if there was a pube in my pie based off of the food that they were serving. I'd be like, you know what? Just pick it out, put it off to the side. This
Like,
pot pie
it's
fucking
probably
rules.
there for a reason, you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah, like when they throw those guys when those people drop off the cliff, everybody else was like, "Oh my god!" I'd be like, "Yes, yes."
We'd be like, are there more? Like, is it just these two? Like,
fuck it, I'll go next. Anyways,
All right.
Graham, next one.
Yeah. Hold on, I lost the list. I was laughing. Alien or Aliens?
I'm gonna say Alien.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
Base. It is a tough one, I think. Basement or attic?
Attic.
Nice.
I feel like
get a lot of attics.
it's with better secrets.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Like Dorian Gray. Like that portrait's not in a basement. That's
No,
like
it's not.
you know.
Yeah. I love it. I love
that answer, actually. Yeah.
Attic.
Look what I got.
Pro attic stuff.
Fuck yeah.
I got the portrait of Dorian Gray.
Oh,
Right
yeah.
here. See? Apparently, I just have stuff.
I love how you have a visual, like
Yeah.
It's like I'm like I got the
Present it.
Just say anything and Ryan pulls it out. All right, last one.
my cat's around here somewhere. When I answered Alien, I should have picked her up.
Yeah, you should have picked up Jonesy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. And she's bothering the hell out of me because that's why. It's because cats.
We're super pro cat.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
dog, and
It's my
dog
cat's
on the-
birthday
Oh,
today.
there she is. Oh,
It is.
Freddie, she's 4 today.
Wow.
Her name's Freddie Furiosa, named after Furiosa, obviously, and Freddy Krueger.
that's great. I love that. That's fantastic.
My cat is doing what he always does during the show is he passes out behind me on his heating pad. He's just like, all right, Dad's
Good
talking
dude.
to cool people. I'm going to bed. Like,
Yeah. Ezra's on one of the other chairs, so she's
Yeah.
nearby. But
Good,
usually
we like that.
crawling around in front of the.
All right, last one.
Okay.
Favorite kill of all time.
Favorite kill of all time. I mean, damn, the Wicker Man really has a top spot there.
it's okay to double dip in the Wicker Man if you want. It's totally
I
fine.
got Wicker Man on the brain now. Yeah, I mean, that is a really good one just because all those people just holding hands and singing while he's screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm good
It's a
with
great
that.
kill.
Yeah, it's
I'll
a
say
great-
too, it's not really no, I'll stick with that. I'll stick with that. Yeah. Even if it
Yeah.
feels like we already talked about the Wicker Man. But I love
No,
Wicker-
it's not. It's a very huge kill too. It's great.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you can totally talk about. You could go back and reform all your answers to be Wicker Man.
To be
Wicker
Wicker Man,
Work
All
them
Wicker
all
Man
in the
related.
Wicker Man, obviously.
can remake it.
You know,
Honestly, I want to go to that candy shop in the Wicker Man, so bad.
Mhm.
Like when he goes in
Oh,
there and
yeah,
it's
dude.
all those beautiful chocolate hairs and stuff, and
Yeah.
you're just yeah, I just want, gotta go there.
my favorite kill always fluctuates because there's so many awesome kills. But my new favorite kill just for this week is only because I saw a news thing coming up about the new Scream movie. Dewey's gonna be back, and I don't know how the fuck they're gonna pull that off. But his kill is incredible. That is
Yeah.
such a good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His kill is probably my favorite out of the entire Scream franchise.
And the line, "It's an honor," is
just
pretty fucking
wow.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the double stab, it's the stab in the chest and the back, and then the lift.
Yeah.
It's just oh yeah, that's my favorite one for this week only.
My theory
Be different
is
next week.
is with Dewey and what's his name back in. It's everything
part
was
three.
a dream.
Oh no.
No, I think it's gonna be. I think they're going, dude. Honestly, and this is. I've been thinking about this. I think they're going New Nightmare style. I think that's what's. I think that's what's gonna happen.
That would make sense too.
And I'm okay with that.
I'm not horrible with that. There's the three I thought of was, it was all a dream. I guess it wasn't even three. It was all a dream, and then zombies. Scream. I'm for. Like, I'm down with that.
What if it's like long lost twins?
Oh, I like that too. I'm always down with the twins.
Dewey's brother shows up after all these years.
They've got Dewey coming back. They've got Matthew Lillard coming back. They got for whatever reason, they have the dude from Scream 3 coming back. I don't know why the fuck they decided to have him come back, but like nobody liked him when he was there. But like right. they have all these returning dead characters. And if they're going New Nightmare style, which New Nightmare is also kind of one of like my top 3 favorite Nightmare movies, if they're going that style, like that I'm very into. So
yeah,
that could be really fun.
Yeah.
I would be fine if they just survived and that was just it, because I don't care about that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like people get really upset. They're like, "Well, how did Jason get from being a child to like a growing man all the time in like 10 minutes?" And I'm like, I don't care. Like, I think when you're caring about that, you're missing the entire point. Like, part of it is none of it is good. You know what I mean? Like, it's like it's like they don't care about that stuff. They're just like, he's back and he's back.
How fucking great would that be if he just like is in the movie and no one ever mentions that he like
Yeah, I would love it. I would love it. I would also just love to watch everybody freak out about it, because I'm at the point now where it's like I'm tired of explaining it to like horror fans who get upset about everything and complain about the movie. I just don't have fun. That's fine. And I'm like, I just want to lean in on like just annoying people. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I think that's the way. I think that's the next wave.
Make 40 minutes of the movie them exhuming the coffin to find out who's really buried there. If he's alive. Like, make it just like a full investigation.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's now basically
he
like
just lays there.
It's like a long episode of CSI. You did an amazing job, of course.
Yeah, and the kill the kill list was brought to us by the Army of the Goddamn this week, our Patreon group, consisting of Michael, Drew, Stephanie, Katie, Chris, Alan, Bacon Bits, Angela, Jasmine, Jason, Jake, Vivian, Ron, Kristen, Manny, Coleman, Jared, Michelle, and Brandon.
Awesome. You got any recommendations, Graham?
I do, but that's on the other thing. I got it.
You have one job, bro.
I know. Well, that's not true. I had to read that. 2 things. I got 3 things. 4. All right. First, I'm going with a movie that Ryan hates, and I'm only doing this because Ryan hates it. Long Legs is great, and you should watch it. I get what Ryan was saying. I rewatched it this weekend, and I get what you're saying with the overly A24-ness, but I think what they were going for and the way it's filmed, they nailed. I love everything about that movie. I think it's so cool.
Hate is a strong word.
I know
how I felt about it. I just think that like I spent a long time before I watched it just because it just wasn't available to me. And do I think Long Legs is like fantastically done? Sure. Do I think sometimes it's corny and clunky? Yes. Am I maybe a little past the A24 formula, and I'm more looking for movies like Call Girl of Cthulhu? Absolutely. And I'm not even kidding. I'm serious. Like, I'm enjoying that and enjoying the indie movies that we watch all the time now. That's where my gaze is right now. I feel like, I mean, The Witch came out 12 years ago or whatever, and like I love A24 and I love neon movies because I think that they did bring art movies to the masses. I think it's interesting when it becomes a formula, and I'm less interested in that now. Do I think the performances in Long Legs were over the toply fantastic? 100%. Do I think
I also think the formula of long legs predates A24 by a long shot.
Yeah,
So,
but it's definitely the reason we're watching that movie with that budget is because of A24. So it's, you know what I mean. And I will also say, and I am sorry,
Monroe, I'm watching that movie no matter who's putting it out.
This was
my recommendation.
Okay, but I'll say that
not Ryan's
Nicholas Kells
getting on more.
And I will say that
why don't we read books now?
One last point. Nicholas Cage yelling "Hail Satan" was the corniest thing I'd seen in a movie.
So corny. I'm sorry. I was trying not to I was like, I don't like that movie, but I don't want to yuck Graham's yum or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
But man,
I love it.
And then the mom being
that.
like, I did all this for you, but then in the end, she's all "Hail Satan." I'm like, what? How did she get? What's her journey?
Yep, exactly.
Because you thought it looked cool for a lady dressed like a nun to say "Hail Satan."
Yeah, exactly. And
I just think Micah Monroe is wonderful, and I'll watch her do anything in anything.
On your side, Graham. I love the movie.
Yeah,
So don't worry about it.
Anyway, moving on
Melissa, we can talk about other stuff while they're
talking. No, we're going to talk about Strange Darling now.
Yeah, Strange Darling, fantastic.
Fucking ruled.
Yeah.
It took me forever to see. The first time I heard about it, I saw it in the theater over about a year ago Out of the Darkness. And I saw the trailer and I was like, fuck, Kyle Garner's in that. I got to see that. It looks great. And everybody was like, don't know anything about it before you go in. I said, gotcha. And I avoided spoilers for like a year and finally saw it. And I'm glad I did. Because holy hell, that fucking movie ruled. Go see it. It's on Paramount now. On Amazon, I think Amazon regular, not Screenbox Amazon, but on Amazon, The Devil and the Daylong Brothers just came out. And it's about a group of 3 brothers, all from different moms, from the same dad, whose dad sold their souls to the devil before they were born. And they're on a mission to get them back. It is a full-on theater piece, kind of. It's a musical. The songs are fantastic. They get so emotional and so into the. It's like "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" with chasing the devil.
What is it called?
It's called The Devil and the Daylong Brothers. I loved it so much. I turned it on. All of a sudden, I realized it was a musical. I was like, "Well, Ryan's gonna hate this," but I think Jonas will like it. He might hate it too. I loved it. I think I'm more of the improv theater kid apologist here than these guys are when it comes in more. It was like "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" with devil stuff.
I'm okay.
Funny.
I like that.
It's funny. It was well done. There's great performances throughout. It's super cool. For music, I'm going hip hop clipping. They've got a new album coming out. God, David Diggs is so rad, and I've been listening to their whole shit lately. Fucking incredible. Blood Command, who you should all be listening to because I've recommended them a billion times, but apparently Jonas had never heard them, even though I talked about them 1,000 times. We've even talked about a certain album. Anyway, Blood Command rules. Go get that. It's from Norway. Even Ryan liked that. Nauseating just put out an album. I don't remember what it was, but it slams, Sanguisuga slams, kind of hardcore, brutal death metal. And then I've been listening to an old band called Criteria from the Saddle Creek days, which they've turned into like a big, huge rock band, like that sings songs about playing music loud, and it's fucking so good. And I love it so much. So their last 2 records are basically just them singing about how they're going to fucking rock out. And I love it. So there's something really great about that. And that's what I got.
That's it? Anything else?
Was that too much?
Yeah,
you spent a lot of that time talking about long legs.
We did talk about long legs, but I'm just saying that was like 19 items. Real quick, Jonas, what do you got?
8.
Substance on Mubi because Demi Moore got fucking robbed. And also that movie rules. So definitely re-recommending that. That's my streaming recommendation because it's on the Movie app. You can get like a 7-day free trial if you are hurting for money right now. Definitely check it out though. It fucking rules. Physical media. I'm going to recommend 2 of them here. First one, Here for Blood.
Wrestling.
Yep, wrestling and super gory, over the top, fun shit. That's on Screenbox also, but the physical media one you get the Blu-ray, and then also Frankie Frico.
Hell yeah,
which also fucking rules. You can get both of those for really good prices right now, and they're both badass. Music-wise, I'm gonna go with Deadlands Kundalini, which is a really really fun track, and it's also featuring the Pretty Wild. So. That is. Oh yeah, actually, I have a book this time, Ryan. I have a book on this one.
What?
This one here, it's I know this one. It's called Orphans of the Aethercosm. And it is a collection of sci-fi Lovecraftian short stories, and
Ooh.
it actually really rules. And
What?
now that I'm done reading it, I'll just probably send it to Ryan because I don't have space for books because I have over 1,000 Blu-rays because I'm an idiot. So that's what I got. Ryan, what do you got?
Real quick, my books for the week is I'm gonna recommend Gone to See the Riverman by Christopher Triana, one of the best splatterpunk extreme horror writers out there. It's very well written. It's a savage book. Please check your triggers before you read such a thing. But big fan of that. I'm also going to recommend really big fan of Daddy is the Word by Sarah DeRosa. She is she's great. She runs a really great book talk on TikTok, and she also writes a ton of really great splatterpunk stories. This one is very short and it's really good, and it is about a dad who picks up his daughter for the summer and finds out some bad news that's going on with his daughter, and then his daughter hang out and start teaching people manners, and the type of people that you want to be taught manners. And it's actually a feel-good splatterpunk movie or book. Excuse me. It's a feel-good splatterpunk book. Like at the
Movie
end
book.
of it, at the end of it, I was like, oh. It's got a real good for her vibe to it, and I'm super into that. And so, Daddy is the Word. Please check it out, and check out all Sarah's stuff. She's super cool and has a lot of fun books. And Melissa, what do you got?
Right now I am reading Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. I'm blowing through it. I cannot put it down, as is usually the case with his books.
Grady's fantastic.
Isn't it just the best? Like,
he's still good. And I was just saying this earlier because I was reading before we met. I was like, oh, I've got like 30 minutes. I can read more of the book. He's so good at writing women, like so good at writing women. So this one is about a group of girls who, it's in the 1970s. They are all sent to this home because they are teenagers, they are pregnant. So they are sent away from their families to then go, give birth to their children, and then they're allowed to return to society. So they discover witchcraft and decide that this is a way that they can have more power than they've ever had before, because they've had very little power in their lives. And beautifully written, harrowing, sad, horrifying, just all the things that Grady does really well. A non-horror book that I read recently that I would highly recommend is called Girly Drinks. It is about the history of women in alcohol, basically, culturally. So women distillers, women who have supported their families through the production and distribution of alcohol, ceremonial kind of stuff. Absolutely fascinating story of alcohol and women through time. So would highly recommend that as well. Movie wise, I feel like I haven't had a chance to watch much lately because we've been so busy. But I did really enjoy when we got home from Ireland. We went to Ireland for 3 weeks in December, and then we found this movie called All You Need Is Death. Have you guys seen this?
have not
It's
seen it.
about people. It's an Irish horror movie. It's about people who collect songs, and sometimes they go collect songs that are not meant to be collected, and that movie gets fucking insane. So I would recommend that as well. It's a wild ride.
It looks really good.
Very into that.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's it called?
All you
All
need,
you need is death.
Yeah.
Oh,
That sounds-
I am super into it.
I fuck with Irish horror too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
absolutely.
Like grabbers.
Dude,
Yeah, but
Let Us
Irish-
Pray. Fantastic.
Fantastic. Oh yeah. it
What's
looks
the other?
so
The Hollow.
Awesome. Yeah, Grady Hendrix does write women really well, and I wouldn't say that as a dude,
Southern
but
Book Club is my favorite of his.
yeah,
And, like, that
so good.
protagonist. I mean, holy shit, dude. I'm like, how did you write this woman so well?
And
I interviewed Grady Hendrix a while back, actually. This actually predates the podcast. I actually interviewed Grady Hendrix at a film festival, and it was for, I can't even remember who I was writing for at the time, but at the film festival, Grady was one of the people that was presenting some couple of things, and he was also doing some promotional stuff for one of his books. But honestly, it was a short interview. I only got to sit with him for like a half an hour, but holy shit, that guy, he lives and breathes horror,
Oh my God, yeah.
in such an awesome way. And he was super smart and also very funny and extremely nice, especially for the stuff that he writes. It was just like, dude, you're a fucking sweetheart. This is crazy.
That's always the case in horror.
Yeah.
He has a podcast called Haunted Homeschool that Chris actually helps him produce.
Oh, really?
Chris produces all of the narrative segments, like the voice acting and stuff for it. So actually quite a few people who are in For Sale by Exorcist are voices on Grady's podcast. And then our friend Mike Walls, who is the leader of the band in For Sale by Exorcist, does the sound design for it. So
Awesome.
yeah. Another recommendation, I guess.
Another recommendation.
I love it.
Fantastic.
I'm full of them.
Yeah, I just read How to Sell a Haunted House by him, one of his latest ones, and it's so fun. It's like, I don't know. That dude loves. You could just tell he's like, I'm just gonna make a horror movie about puppets, and you're like, dope. You know what I mean? So
I'm there, man. Anything you want there.
Melissa, you are absolutely fantastic. Thank you
So
much.
rad.
So much for joining us and spending time with us. Where and when can we see the movie? What's the
1 week from today? We are recording this on March 4th, Tuesday. Next Tuesday, March 11th, it will be on VOD. So Apple TV, Amazon, although from what I understand on the technical side of things, Amazon's been a little slow lately, so I may be catching up, but definitely Apple TV. So you can find it there, and then other streaming services will follow after that, I think around April.
Sweet.
Absolutely.
3/11 day too.
It's on 3/11 day.
It is 3/11 day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's one of us on this show that's interested in that. Well, the rest of us are not. We want to say thank you to all our listeners for tuning in every week. Remind you that we do have a podcast, we do have a podcast. We do have a Patreon. Yeah. Patreon. If you go to patreon.com and search AGHP 666, because we're cool like that with the 666. Please, we have please sign up for it. We have everything from a $1 level to a $20 level. We've been posting more content on there. Shirts are heading out. We got a lot of cool things going on with it. And
for the Patreon, I'm about to record, I would say within the next month. I'm going to record a whole bunch of stuff specifically for the Patreon. It's all about extreme horror with a variety of different guests, both new guests and previous guests from the show. We have Mary Beth, actually. Mary Beth is going to be doing an episode with me for the movie Hard Candy.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one.
That's a good one.
We're going to do a lot of movies on that Patreon. On that Patreon series, a lot of movies about killing rapists, so it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Yes.
Can I come on
literally.
Project Wolf Hunting.
Goddamn right you can.
I just want a movie about me killing rapists, and it's just live action.
You make your own movie, Ryan.
Thank you, thank you, globally, United States in the first place on our listenership, followed pretty well by United Kingdom, Canada in third place, Australia solidly in fourth place, Germany and New Zealand still tied. New Zealand, you had bumped up over Germany. Now you are actually just on the list behind it. So even though you both have the same percentage of listenership, you're still behind them. So you might want to nudge your neighbors. One way or another, Australia's beating you, and I know how you feel about that. United Arab Emirates, UAE after that, Sweden, China, Turks and Caicos Islands solidly in there. You had kind of dropped back a little bit, but Turks and Caicos making a triumphant return, followed by Mexico. I say it every time, but goddamn, I love you, Mexico. I love it.
Love Mexico.
Love Mexico. India, followed by that. Poland, France, Italy, Netherlands, Ireland, Finland, Spain, Brazil, Czech Republic, Puerto Rico. Gotta love you too, Puerto Rico. Philippines, Taiwan, and Russia. All rocking with us. So thank you all so much for tuning in. We really do appreciate you. If you are struggling out there, please reach out. We're not we're only like street psychiatrists, you know what I mean? Like I can't prescribe you anything.
We can only give you street drugs.
We can only give you street drugs, but really, if you are struggling, reach out. We all need to do this together. Our horror community needs to stand by each other. We all need you and love you and care about you. So until we see you again, please start some fires and break some glass. Thank you very much.